spend some big money.
Yeah, thanks.
It's crazy. There's kids that come in my age who drop money that some 24-year-old kid should not be dropping.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. You wonder where they get it from.
Well, like they can't do more than 20,000, so like.
Yeah, but I mean that's. What do you mean they can't do?
That's what you just said. They can't do more than 20,000.
No, I never said they can't. I said there's certain maximum bets.
Said your casino can only handle a few goldfish, basically.
That's not what I'm saying.
Roasted shrimp.
That's per bet.
Dude, that was just all nuts. Also nuts. So, what's your favorite, I think, game in the casino? I think about the casino, I think about the movie Casino, I think about the Brazilian. So, like, what do you love about the casinos? The casino business?
Like working or attending?
Both. Probably a combination of both.
I mean, working, it's you're basically like the host of a party.
Yeah.
You're bringing people in that are, spending a lot of money, and you get to compensate them with dinners and give them free play, just basically anything that makes them happy. We have golf courses that we're partnership, take them golfing, go golfing, shows, some Steeler games. So, I mean, every day is exciting because you never know what it's going to be. You never know what kind of player's going to walk through, and sometimes they throw temper tantrums. We have players that lose a lot of money and they do disgusting things because it eases their anger, but working at it, it's interesting. It's fun.
So do they have to have the cash in hand to gamble?
I mean...
Or, like, can you, like, gamble on your credit card?
Well, the average player comes in with cash. I mean, if you're spending a lot of money, you set up a credit line. You set up a credit line for, like, $100,000. You can go in, get $20,000, and it's basically like a loan almost.
Yeah.
You gamble. If you lose it, you pay it back.
So
you have to be approved for that, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
they check they check everything. They check your credit, your background. I mean, job history.
Jeez.
They look into everything.
Jeez, that's nuts. So when you go on and play, what do you play?
I don't really gamble much. I mean, it got to the point where I was like, if I can't beat them, I might as well join them.
Yeah. Where does all that money go? Like, does the owner make the most money at the casino?
I mean, a lot of it goes with the state. We're paying a lot of money. About 50% to the state. The state makes a lot of money. I mean, we have 1,000 employees. They get paid out.
Dude, that isn't so. Where's all this gamble? Because I mean, what do all the casinos in the world, like in our nation combined, like make a month? And if half that goes to the state, like.
Well, I mean, that's
like
each
individual
PA.
state.
This is PA.
But I'm thinking like cumulatively, like if we're giving all this money back to each state as a nation, what are we doing with all of those funds on top of these taxes?
I mean, each state's different. Like, there's not gambling allowed in certain states.
Okay.
So, with Pennsylvania, we have the PGCB. It's like our gaming board. It's basically like the government of casinos. They set the rules and regulations.
Yeah.
And we abide by it.
Dude, what was that movie with the girl that is
Molly's Game.
Molly's Game?
You didn't even have to tell me. That's how good I am with movies.
For real. I can't wait to get movies with you. But so, like, with this Molly's Game movie, that shit is fire.
That's a true story.
I know, I wrote it.
She was an Olympic skier.
Yep.
She started her own underground poker
Busted her
tournament.
knees out, broke her spine or whatever.
Which what she was doing was legal at first, but as soon as she took a percentage of that pot, that's what made it illegal.
Yeah.
But she would make money.
Dude, that shit is insane, bro. Insane.
It's the fact that it was based off a true story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Movies like that make it more intriguing to watch.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, bro. What were we talking about before that? Casinos. Dan Bilzerian. I just got this book called The Setup.
I did have to try to get it.
I might get an extra copy. If I get an extra copy, I'll send it to you immediately because I got another text today saying like I think I ordered like a gold like something crazy. I fucking love Dan Bilzerian, but at the same time, I just think he's got really good like marketing in a sense where like how, like it just seems like a clean cut dude, like a cool ass dude I would want to meet. Rogan interviewed him. He would definitely be on my top 10 to kind of interview. Hopefully one day when people like these. If they ever do.
Go from having me in your podcast to Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan, dude, that would be a dream. That'd be a dream.
Yeah.
But I don't know, they always say like you'd be scared to meet your idols, and like you told me, like those people trying to get a picture with them.
Yeah, that's not the. I mean, Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's never gonna hear this, so I'll say that.
Yeah.
And if he does hear this for some reason,
Yeah, but you got.
It's not personal.
Yeah, let's hop on a call.
But we were at. I forget what we were at. We were at some fundraiser, and me and my brother went to get a picture with Joe Rogan. Well, we went to attempt to get a picture.
Yeah.
He was talking to somebody, and somebody beat us to it. And they were like, "Hey, Mr. Rogan, can we get a picture?" And he didn't say to fuck off, but he murmured something to basically say that, like, not right now. So we were like, all right.
But you got to imagine, I mean, like when you build up to that fame, and people like you just can't go out in public without people like
it's
involved.
But at the same time,
it's got to be exhausting.
You sign up for that.
I don't know. He gives me the vibe where he would be happy just making like just if his family's needs were met, especially with like how he grew up. Because he didn't grow up wealthy.
Yeah, but I mean, getting into being a celebrity, you got to know, there's going to be.
Yeah, I guess you start to build up to that, but.
And it's not like they're coming up to you for bad reasons. They're coming up to you solely because of the fact that they respect you.
A lot of people ask for handouts though too, so you could imagine.
I mean, that could get annoying.
Obviously. Yeah, people coming up to like, what are you telling?
Some little kid that just wants a picture and an autograph. You gotta cherish that.
What about his little kids that just want free time and space?
I'm sure he gets it for them. He probably gets whatever they want.
Yes. Man, that would be dope. That would be dope to have them guys on. So Dan Bilzerian, gambling.
Dude, if Dan Bilzerian came into my casino, which he never would, because we were, I mean, number one, we're in Greensburg. What would Dan Bilzerian be doing in Greensburg? Number two, we couldn't meet his limits.
His credit limits?
I mean, credit limits, we have certain maximums on the table in regards to bets that we allow.
Yeah.
And he would not be interested in those. Not saying they're small. I mean, they're big for.
So what if he? What about cash? What if he brought in $500,000 cash? Could you guys say, hey, you can't do it all?
I mean, he can gamble a portion of it. Not exceeding our maximums. But if we have a $5,000 maximum, per bet on the blackjack table and high limit, and he comes in trying to bet $20,000, like if we allow it. Say he's bringing in a bunch of people and it might outweigh it, but if we allow it, we're taking a risk. I mean, he buys in for $500,000 and he matches that, ends up winning $500,000. We're down $500,000. It's harder to come back from than being down $20,000.
So what do you guys mean by down? Like,
I just mean in the sense of that player to that player.
To lose.
Well, the casino always wins. That's what happens.
Absolutely.
As cliche as it is, the casino always wins. It's statistics.
Yeah.
If you come in and play at a statistical approach, you'll make some money. But you gotta, it's not gonna be every time. But that because that's statistics.
So,
but you can.
Do they play poker at your casino?
We're actually in the process of putting a poker room in right now.
So there's no poker there right now?
Not right now. There's poker machines, but we'll have an actual poker room here for the next 2 months, I'd say.
Is there a cigar lounge or spot out there?
No, we have cigar tastings. When vendors come out and introduce their new cigars, but there's smoking in the casino, but generally not cigars.
Yeah.
Problem is we have sports and social upstairs. It's a restaurant. It's kind of family oriented, but it's one of the best spots to watch sports.
You guys put that bull in there too. That's
in PBR. Yeah, that's the nightclub. It's like a tequila cowboy, but smaller.
But it's attached to the casino.
Yeah, it's upstairs.
Yeah.
Which that brings in a crowd. It's mainly college kids because it's a weekend, but you figure 200 college kids, there's going to be a couple sprinkled in there that'll go downstairs and spend some big money.
Yeah, thanks.
It's crazy. There's kids that come in my age and drop money that some 24-year-old kid should not be dropping.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. You wonder where they get it from.
Well, they can't do more than 20,000, so
Yeah, but I mean that's. What do you mean they can't do?
That's what you just said. They can't do more than 20,000.
No, I never said that. I said there's certain maximum bets.
Said your casino can only handle a few goldfish, basically.
That's not what I'm saying.
Roasted shrimp.
That's per bet.
Oh, okay.
If our maximum's 5,000 per bet, I mean 4 hands you lose in a row, it's $20K you're down. Yeah, you keep doing that all night.
What's the most you guys ever had somebody lose in there?
My players, I had a guy come in and lose. That was actually recently. He lost $125,000 in less than 24 hours.
Was he pissed?
Ironically enough, I mean, I'm sure these guys are aggravated at some point, but I mean, it was like nothing to him. He was planning his next trip in. Makes you wonder, you know.
What do you do?
What do you mean? What do you do
for work?
So it's funny. A lot of the times with my players, if they tell me what they do, I'll talk to them about it. Generally, I don't ask them what they do, especially newer players. This guy's newer. He's only been in once. He came out of Cleveland. But if a player doesn't openly tell me what they do, I don't want to know about it because I don't want to know if they're doing something illegal, selling something they shouldn't be selling, and they're coming in with money. Like, I don't want to be in the middle of that. You come in, you spend your money. I don't know where it comes from. I'm safe. Generally. I like to know my players.
Yeah.
You know, I talk about
true.
other things, talk about their families,
That's true.
and you know how their kids are doing in soccer, baseball, whatever it is that they're playing. But it's a lot like this job, which was weird. I mean, it's a completely different industry, but I learned a lot of things from this job that have helped me with my new job.
Yeah.
Like making calls. You know, like before, I hated making calls, but when you work in areas, you get used to it after a while. So that helped. Being able to talk to people, different kinds of people. I mean, sold in Nebraska, sold in Memphis, West Virginia, Ohio, Pittsburgh. Like, it's all different people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the same thing in the casino, so you know, that helps. But there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
You know, calling players, checking up on them, like you might call a policy holder, checking up on them. Somebody else hesitant, you know?
Yeah.
The little things.
So, what do you think Bill Zarian's favorite game is?
I'm going to take a guess and say poker.
Close guess. Slot machines.
Did you read that in his book?
Nah, probably poker. I don't know why I asked that question.
I don't think I've ever heard of him playing the slot machine. I feel like he's too smart to play slot machines.
I don't think he would play slot machines.
He's a poker guy.
Can you guys ever tell if somebody's cheating? Have you guys had any like major cheaters over there?
Not major. I mean, we have people who try to cheat all the time.
How do you cheat?
People randomly call an attendant over and be like, I put $100 in the slot machine and it didn't come out. But little they know that, you know, we have not only 200 eyes in the sky, but we got keys and devices that allow us to go back on the slot machine and look at every move that's happened in the last so many hours or days. So it's like, oh, you put $100 in, well, let's go back and look. Nope, you didn't. You actually cashed out for 0 cents after losing 100. So you used it. You didn't lose it.
Damn.
But they'll do it in all different ways.
Yeah.
You get used to it. At the end of the day, it's $100. You know?
I think I like those movies where like if you cheat the casino, they like cut your hand off.
It was back in the day. It's not so much in today's world.
Oh, dude, there's still gotta be some casinos out there though that like if you try to like mess with them,
I don't know, man.
they like send you back.
I wouldn't be surprised. Underground?
Yeah, it'd be nuts.
You do underground poker tournaments, dude, those are dangerous.
Send you back. Wow, dude, those gotta be crazy. Like in that Molly's game, like them crazy. Like they were spending like $100 million.
Those were all celebrities too, which made it even cooler. Like Player X was based off of Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man.
Damn.
It was Michael Cera played him.
Damn.
It was based off of Tobey Maguire, so I mean that's why that one scene, you know, he was like telling the guy, he was like, I got a crappy hand, you know, fold, and then he didn't fold, and he had a better hand. He's like taking his chips away. He's like, I don't want to win that hand. I wanted to take everything you had. He was made out to be like kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
Greedy. I mean, you're making what, $30 million from Spidey. You get to take 10 G's off of some guy that can't afford it.
That was just a movie, dude. Relax.
Based off the true story.
Yeah. Dude, so wait, Tobey Maguire did that in real life?
That was what Molly's game was about. all those people that she would invite are celebrities.
So, like, if they get in trouble?
I mean, I think it's that much into it. I'm sure somebody got in trouble.
Dude, that's just crazy.
Just look at research on it.
Yeah, you gotta imagine, like, all the stuff that just goes on behind the scenes with, like, Hollywood, politics, celebrities. And then even the people that are even way more powerful than them, like, when you think of, like the Illuminati or something like that, dude. Like, I don't know if you believe in stuff like that, but you gotta think.
I mean, if they're out there somewhere.
Like royal families, you know what I mean, that just have, like, so much wealth, and there's just, like, piece of you's gonna be like, yo, this is just, like, all being, like, puppeteered.
You think they're pulling the strings?
I don't know, dude. It's real. Like, this vaccine thing is real weird.
It is pretty weird.
Run over here and get a cheeseburger. Just see a
Pull to McDonald's. Can I get a
bunch of fat people just rolling over? Cheeseburger.
Can I get a Big Mac? Did you get the vaccine this year? No. Sorry, we're gonna deny you.
There it is, dude. That shit's nuts. But
so, what are your plans with Arius? Are you looking at expanding at all?
we're actually looking at going to Dallas. So we're hoping to go down to Dallas within the next 6 to 12 months, and then probably the same deal, year or two, get into Tampa, meet up with there. You got some great people down there with Spencer Koze and Mark Bernsdorf, so there's some good people. I don't know, see where everything's kind of one day at a time. But then we're looking to buy another office here in Illinois, so we lease this space right here, and then we're looking to just start to build equity. So we're looking at buying a place down the road.
It's crazy to think where it all started from.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I never would have imagined. I'm gonna try it for the next 4 or 5 years. You know what I mean? I feel like these first, I say this every year, I feel like I'll be like, the first year was just building. First 2 years, at the end of the second year, I'm like, oh man, my first 2 years was just building a foundation. Then at the end of the third year, I was like, oh, first 2 years were just building a foundation. So I don't know, maybe life is just this
Never-ending cycle.
Yeah, this never-ending cycle of a perspective. Well, I'm just preparing for the next, to start walking. You know what I mean? I feel like I've been crawling, so see where it goes.
I would love to get back in it.
I know.
If I wasn't tied up.
I know.
Maybe I can do it on the
Full
side.
time. Yeah, try it out. Part-time. Especially, we made that big transition from you and I being so in the physical world of door-to-door sales, like the door knocking and physically going to their homes to present. And now it's literally like Amazon, you know what I mean, in relation to it being so easy.
I mean, that's why
and efficient.
I'd be interested to kind of see what it's like.
Yeah,
You
a bunch
know,
of calls.
take numbers from in-houses to virtual and see how they compare.
Definitely a lot more calls. That would be like the only things, but a lot more calls. Then I think with legitimate presentations, it's still 30% close.
I mean, do you sell people door knocking at all?
Not honestly, like, really want to go out there. Nobody wants to physically go.
We used to have door knock goals.
Yeah.
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 I mean, you couldn't choose whether or not you were calling or door knocking. If it was a door knocking day, you're out door knocking.
Yeah, no, I would do both.
Well, I mean, you can call, obviously, while you're out door knocking, but you're not allowed at the office that day.
Yeah, them days are crazy. I'll be like, Gavin, get your donuts. I'll be like, how would you do? Be like, 3. Be like,
no, it was a fun time. I would do it again, but right now,
yeah,
currently, just
out there at GBG, living it up at Live Casino. Live Casino. So what do you think about the UFOs and the aliens?
we're gonna talk about aliens on this podcast.
Talk about it all, dude. Gotta jump into movies. Talk more about the movies. But we're gonna stick with aliens right now.
The aliens are out there somewhere.
I think it's just weird, like the government just pops shit off and just.
If you watch the
like
news,
they've already know.
watch the new series for what is it, American Horror Story. There's a new season out. Whatever the latest one is.
Yeah, I'm not a girl.
Dude, and if you're into aliens, they make it seem that like what we're living in right now is like their whole plot, this alien plot to take over the world. So it like makes you think like, oh, COVID, you know, this happened because of what they said in the show, or other things that, might appear one way to you in the show, they make it look like this is why.
Dude, remember Rob used to talk all about conspiracies and shit?
Yeah, he still does.
Oh, you know, I think that's another shout out too many times. I always get into car conspiracies from Juice WRLD. It's hilarious.
There's some conspiracies out there that are actually kind of creepy, though.
They are. Yeah, if you
like
read
Airbnb cameras, they hide them in the vents. You ever hear that?
No.
It's conspiracies, like hotel rooms and Airbnbs will hide these little cameras, vents, like the outlets on the wall.
I just feel bad for you.
I don't think anybody would want to see it.
Yeah.
But out there's some guy behind the screen enjoying.
Yeah, just like, oh,
it's disgusting.
It's hilarious. So movies, your favorite? I just asked you your favorite movie. What were you telling me your favorite movie was?
I mean, I got a bunch of favorite movies.
Yeah, like your top three. I got a list too.
A true,
like top three.
Warrior.
Those are the brothers that fight each other.
Yeah, that was a great movie. It's
alright.
It's a great movie.
Pretty good.
Very good. It was good. Nick Nolte as the dad.
Yeah, it was alright.
It's an incredible movie.
He like broke his arm at the end.
Yeah, his own brother.
Yeah.
It was based off a true story.
It's kind of stupid.
I actually have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't.
Alright, what's the next one?
I mean, Scarface has got to be up there.
Oh,
Scarface
yeah,
is a
so
great
that for
movie.
me.
That's top three for sure. I don't know, it's hard to pick.
Yeah,
there's movies that come out, I mean, there's different genres. There was that new movie that just came out with Ryan Reynolds and The Rock, Red Notice.
Red Notice.
It's a completely different genre than Scarface, but it's a good movie.
Those action movies for me.
Yeah, but it's shot in different times. See, I'm minored.
Yeah, you're
film,
getting real
I
specific.
understand.
What about the Squid Games? You brought up the Squid Games to me.
I watched
what is that about?
So, it's this place basically gets people to agree. I don't know how to explain it. They bring all these people to this place and they basically tell them, these are the rules. You play games. If you pass, you pass. If you don't pass, you're eliminated.
Yeah.
And they play the first game, and when people get eliminated, they die, and they start to realize, and it's just basically a bunch of people just dying, and these games that this kind of crazy guy that's in control came up with to appease himself. He's got all this money, so the winner, every time somebody dies, whatever they're worth goes into the pot, and the last survivor gets the pot. It comes out to like $340 million or something. It's done in yen, which transfers.
Yeah.
It's like 46 billion yen, but it's like 300.
So, who won? Was it some did
who knows? I mean, somebody's gonna watch this.
So, spoiler alert.
Obviously, the main character wins.
So he or she.
He.
Damn.
But the entire thing is filmed in a different language. That's the only problem. Which I'm not usually big into, but if you do like the English voiceover, then you take a couple of sips of something you're drinking or something you're smoking,
yeah,
the words match up perfectly.
Jesus. That's hilarious. Dude, I think one of my favorite movies still is King Arthur Lives of the Sword.
My little brother. You don't said the same thing.
You have a little brother.
No, I don't.
I was gonna say you're not a little brother. I think I'm gonna go for C and get some dope things on there. King Arthur for sure. Yeah, King Arthur, something crazy.
I don't match all the ones you have now.
No, won't match them.
I have a couple dumb tattoos.
Oh yeah, both of them. I'm getting ready.
We actually got one together.
Yeah.
In Nebraska, right before I left.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. We got one.
Which one did I get when we got those?
Huh?
Which I got what, Elvira?
Yeah.
What did you get?
I got I got an initial tattoo.
Ah, that's good. That's hilarious.
You encouraged it. You're like, yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it did.
The design is awful.
You still have it?
I had another tattoo on top of it, but
It's still there.
let's
Yeah, it's still there. You did it on purpose. You shaded it. You was like, just in case. Just in case you come back, man. I'm gonna shade this. That way I said I just added some shading. I didn't cover it. I was just shading it.
You know, actually, I went to get the tattoo was Alec. You remember him?
Yeah.
He worked with us for a little bit too.
So he did it.
He didn't do it. His buddy did it.
Oh, okay.
He was there for it. I actually passed out during this. So I got, 8 tattoos? This is the biggest one. It took 4 hours. There was so much shading on my wrist. Like, he did this for an hour.
And you cried and passed out?
I didn't cry and pass out. I just remember sitting there, and everything went black, and I was out. And then, 10 seconds later, I wake up, and I don't know where I am. You know, when you pass out and you wake up, you have no idea where you are. You know, you don't know what's left or right. And all I remember was I woke up, and I just looked down, and there were arms restraining me. This dude was tatted up because he was the dude tattooing me. So I randomly wake up, and I see some strong, buff, tattooed man strangling me to a chair. I started to freak out, so I was throwing myself everywhere. And finally I came to it, and I looked at him, I was like, did I pass out? He was like, yeah, he's seizure, he did everything. He's like, shit. I reached for my Gatorade, got my blood sugar up, and finished the tattoo.
Over a little tattoo.
Pretty big tattoo. It was up half my arm.
That's embarrassing. Over a little tattoo.
We'll see if he passes out.
So, your dad had a lot of success. And then I wanted to ask really just kind of like, what did you watch him do, or what inspired you to really kind of get on this entrepreneurial mindset, and what traits and characteristics have you seen? Because you've met successful people, but seeing that success maybe within your home, like how has that kind of translated over into your life, and what are those things that were successful?
I picked up on my dad a lot growing up. I mean, he was always working. You know, I never appreciated it as a kid.
Yeah.
So I'm just reaping the benefits. You know, I'm 6 years old, 8 years old, 10 years old. I understand there's going to be a work life in the future, but I don't fully understand at that age, and nobody really does, what goes into it, you know, like the value of a dollar. My dad was really good at teaching the value of a dollar. You know, growing up, we were very blessed, but he made us work. You know, if I had a girlfriend in, 7th, 8th grade, I wanted to take her out, and, I wasn't making enough money where I was working, hey, I got $40, come on along. Go do this, go do that. Like, he made me work for it, which sucked at the time. I hated it because I went to school and all these kids had, dad's credit card and stuff, and I'm pulling out $1 bills from my shift at Brewster's, and it was embarrassing at the time, but it created something, that not every kid has the blessing of getting from the father. Because a lot of people like to hand, which I don't see anything wrong with it at the time, but if they don't learn to get a work ethic, which I picked up on from my dad, they fail. As blunt as it is, but he just always had a work ethic. He was always working. He was always traveling. Yeah. Part of the reason we moved up here, he was always traveling. We wanted to be closer with him more, but his time management is crazy. Yeah. I mean, I remember nights where we'd be in the field 2 a.m. back out at 7. I mean, he's doing the same stuff. He's been doing it for 50 years. Yeah. And he's been in the casino business his whole life. He's not done anything else. And I mean, he was a college dropout after 1 semester. Does he work at Rivers? No, it's our competition. You think I work at Live and he works at Rivers? No, he's with Live too. I mean, he's worked for a lot of different gaming groups. But for like the last 5 or 10 years where you guys have lived, what casino has he worked at? It was never Rivers. It wasn't Rivers or Meadows. He did work with Presque Isle. He did work with. Because I'm thinking if that's the only thing he did, which casino? Well, up here it was Presque Isle, Mountaineer, Side of the Downs. It wasn't really in Pittsburgh. We just moved here because this was the nicest area in regards to casinos. Where are those places? Mountaineer is in West Virginia. It's like right on the border, which actually I would stay there a lot when I was selling insurance. Yeah, if I had, appointments Friday night and Saturday morning, I'd stay over there and rock the appointments. But no, it's in West Virginia. It's got a horse track, so I still go up there from time to time, bet horse races. But it was never casinos in Pittsburgh that was involved in. It was just kind of the area that we migrated to. We figured it was a nice kind of area to regroup and start a life.
Yeah.
Which obviously I wasn't in that decision process, but what am I going to say at 10 years old?
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I mean, I had a gift watching him, as I was growing up, and I still learn things from this day. I can't be around him as much anymore because he's out at our Philly property running that one, and I'm stuck in Greensburg, but every now and then I can see him, and I'll go out to Philly and visit, bring players out.
Do you guys still have Wahlburgers?
Yeah.
So you probably don't go there often at all.
I actually went there last week. I have a funny story about that.
What?
So that's the first time I go to our Wahlburgers in 3, 4, 5 months.
The one you used to take me to.
Yeah, it's McKnight Road, near Ross Park Mall. So we have that one, and then we have the one in Robinson.
Yeah, so the one you took me to, right?
Yeah, that was McKnight Road. And obviously there's new workers. The only people that I know are the general manager at the time.
Yeah.
Because they stay the same. But new bartender, servers, and go up and sit at the bar with my brother. And I ordered a beer, and she carded me. And I thought it was a joke. Like, my brother laughed too. So I kind of laughed, because we're in there, like, a lot of them know, who we are. So it's not like really awkward when we go in, because we're very friendly, always taking care of them. My dad was really good at bringing breakfast to them, donuts, stuff like that, coffee. But she carded me and I kind of laughed, and she was like kind of snarky with me. She was like, "Oh, I'm joking. I'm not losing my job." I was like, "Okay, well, here you go." And I gave it to her, and she gave it back to me. And then the entire time she didn't really she wasn't rude, but she didn't kind of pay attention. And this would happen a lot of times when we go there, because that's another story. But we got to the end of it, and she was in a rush. She was trying to rush me out. She was done at 4. It was like 3:55, so she's trying to milk the last check. She wanted the tips, so she has to close my tab out to do that. She's like, "Anything else I can get for you?" As I'm still eating my burger. I was like, "No, you can close me out." She closed me out. She handed me the bill. I was like, "Who's the manager on today?" And she said who it was. I was like, "Yeah, come out here and comp it." She looked at me, she's like, "What for?" And I was like, the nerve on this lady. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, just go tell Josh that, somebody's out here. And Josh comes out, he's like, "Hey, Anthony, what's up, man? What's up?" We talked for a couple of minutes, and she soon realized that, we were the owners, and the attitude changes so quickly.
Yeah.
It changes so quickly as soon as they find, "Oh my God, I feel so bad, I carded him,"
Yeah.
Do you feel bad? Because you kind of were enjoying it while it was happening.
Dude, that's so hilarious. When I found out
I got carded in my own restaurant.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when I found out you guys were like owners in Wahlburgers, I was like, what the heck? And then you had the picture, like the video or whatever with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Dude, his movies, Four Brothers.
That's a great movie.
Great movie, dude.
He had a new one out, Infinite. I really like that one. I think it's a great movie. It came out earlier this year.
What was it about?
It's like reincarnation. It's like you keep dying and then you're reincarnated, but like it takes you a few years to realize. But once you realize, you have every skill that you had in the previous life. It's a crazy movie. It's one of his good, action movies. Stuff's always happening. He's got a lot of good movies. But I'm kind of biased. I think he came out a couple months ago. It's either this year or last year.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I saw this.
You can rent them in Paramount Plus.
I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna check it out for sure. Movies. I wanted to talk about something else too. We talked about aliens, which is cool. Maybe your next, what are your plans? Like, what's your vision for the next 5-10 years? Where you want to be?
Dude, I have no idea.
You thought about like states?
There's
jobs, businesses.
I don't want to be in Greensburg too long.
Yeah.
When I moved out there, I said 2 years max. We're coming up on a year now, and another year seems like a long time.
Yeah.
But it's fun being the big fish in a small pond, but only for a certain period of time.
Yeah.
You want to expand. You want to get bigger. You want to take on more challenges, bigger players, different areas. But I mean, with this job, there's so many different routes. You know, there's so many different departments at a casino, but it's figuring out. You know, this is what I want to stick in.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe I come back to Aries.
Yeah.
Aries delayed it now.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that back then.
Yeah, no, that's definitely been a weird ass ride. Now, doesn't your brother work for PacSun?
Not PacSun. You say that every time. It's Route 21. Yeah, he produces a lot of stuff for Route 21.
How did he even get into that?
He had a lot of talent agency experience. He did an internship in college, which led to a job at an agency, which eventually led him to Route 21. But he's been with them for the longest. His job's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He doesn't record the commercials and stuff, but he kind of puts it together. You know, he books actresses, for shoots, models, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But from what I see and what he tells me, it seems like a pretty fun gig.
Yeah.
Hang around, models. Good food. They always have some hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah.
That's why I always notice these things. They always got great snacks out there,
Yeah, absolutely.
In his car, he always brings it home.
Yeah.
And then you ride in the car with him, he's got those monster Sam's Club size boxes of different trail mix and crackers and cookies and chips.
That sounds fire. Dude.
But he's loving it.
So, what else should we talk about?
So I want to talk about something beneficial. People that are listening to this in regards to success. What do you think gave you success? If you had to sum it down to one thing, what did it start with?
I would say the first thing would be probably faith. Some faith in God and then faith in myself, faith in the process, in the company, all around faith.
When you say faith, you mean
like belief,
trying to bring it into fruition?
I think maybe. You know what I mean? Obviously I've been huge on the affirmations and having an affirming spirit, but I think it truly does. I mean, when I say faith, I mean almost in the sense of believing in God, believing in myself, in the company, and in the process, in what's required to get to where you want to be. They always say, Simon, my mentor always says, in order to go up, you got to be willing to give up. And so giving up is, for us, it's like giving up the partying and working, or, giving up certain holidays or birthdays, or giving up sleep. And if you're dieting, it's like giving up cake, whatever it might be, giving up in order to accomplish a greater goal, and just having that perspective of where do you want to go and where do I want to go in life. It's very compelling, when you have a very clear vision and start with the end in mind, doing the work in the process, it almost becomes enjoyable. So I would say.
So where does self-discipline fall in your process?
I would say the self-discipline is for sure the foundation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, it corresponds with that belief. It just immediately ties into what's required with the belief that you have in a dream or a goal or a desire. What is the price that's required for you to pay? And so it immediately goes to self-discipline for sure.
So without self-discipline, you can't really accomplish anything.
Yeah.
And with self-discipline, you can accomplish just about anything. Yeah.
Pretty much do anything, dude. I think I love the UFC, and I think of, everything's kind of like a fighter. You know what I mean? People don't realize, everybody's living this fight internally, and I don't just mean the mental health. I mean, truly in regard to your mindset, you're fighting towards getting better every single day, or you're kind of in that fight and allowing the world or different influences to pull you down and make you worse every day. And that's on you.
That's like Manny Pacquiao. When he was, 15, 16, he was fighting for food,
yeah.
His family.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely living that grind. Who's your favorite UFC fighter?
I mean,
Gregor for sure.
He was, based off popularity and stuff like that. But going back in the day, you got Tito Ortiz.
Yeah.
You got the Iceman.
Oh yeah, dude.
There's legend. It was different back in those days.
Dude, I got into jiu-jitsu kind of early when I started here. I started doing no gi jiu-jitsu, then I started doing gi jiu-jitsu, and ended up really loving it. And beginning of last year, I was rolling with a dude in the office, and I was trying to, like, I was a white belt, and I was trying to teach, ankle locks. Basically, I wasn't even necessarily teaching them, I was just trying to pull them on people and, like, tap people out with them.
This was recently?
A year ago. This is a year ago. And so I teach one of the bigger dudes. Indirectly, I teach him by doing them. And we go to roll, and you typically, like, the worst person to do leg locks is, like, lower belts, because they're like spaz, they're like spastic, so it's like, you typically don't want somebody spazzing and twisting in your joints. You know what I mean? Like, your leg. Yeah. Well, especially, like, I don't know what it is, if it's, like, the sensory nerves or whatever it is, where it, like, takes longer to feel pain when things snap and pop and break down, basically throughout your legs. So doing these ankle locks indirectly, just teaching these guys this. And so we start rolling, some of them start to, like, almost get me in it. And this bigger dude we had, Connor, and just did a podcast with him, puts me in it and just starts twisting on my, like, knee, like, in every different direction. And me, you know what I mean, with that, crazy mindset, that psycho mindset.
Try to bring out of it?
Nah, I just kind of pulled out of it, but I would just let him basically snap my knee. So it just pops. It's like, just pops. And I ended up choking him out, but at the cost of my meniscus. So that pop was my meniscus, like, just completely basically being shredded.
So what, we got crutches?
So I didn't walk for a week or two. I was basically just dragging my leg, which was nuts. But, and it hurt so bad to sleep for the first week. But, and then from there I ended up doing stem cells. So I was trying to think what was the next step. It was a brace. It was stem cells. So I went and saw, shout out Dr. Burnett. So Simon put me on with Dr. Burnett, and he works with some of, like, the professional athletes out of Pittsburgh, like some of the Steelers and Pirates. Just an all-around great dude. So we did the stem cell on my knee, and that worked phenomenally. Like, I was walking, like, the next week, like, lifting and everything like that. Then I kept getting, like, tempted to roll. So, like, 30 days go by, and I roll again, and it tweaks again. And I couldn't walk a couple days. Then, like, another, like, I'm like, all right, I'm not doing this. I'll give it another, like, 60 days. They go by. So now we're, like, halfway through the year. And I roll again. Like, all right, I feel good. I'm going to roll again. And I tweak it again. And then probably another 60 days, I'm like, all right, I feel good. Like, this was a couple months ago when I tweaked it. And then, like, a couple weeks ago, I tweaked it again. I was like, dude, I'm going to have to get this thing checked out. I think it just keeps shredding. So there's not a lot of blood flow to the meniscus. And so I'm excited. Like, Rogan always talks about, like, flying out of, like, Panama and, like, spending, like, $20,000 doing these crazy treatments, which is, like, in a position, I mean, that might be something I could consider. Maybe a little much, but it could be something to consider. But, like, I think I'm going to just get a consultation, and see what's up with it. I'll put forward for sure. We're going to have to do some type of meniscus, operation. But they have the arthroscopic meniscus operation, which is basically like a little incision, and, like, a little camera goes in, and, like, a clasp or whatever, and it kind of just, it's really cool. So they, like, do it, and it's not very invasive, so it's a faster recovery as well.
Put a camera in there?
It's basically they put like a camera in there. Basically. So
this is so fun.
I mean, it's a lot better than them, like, cutting the whole knee out.
I mean, in regards to that, yeah.
You know what I mean? You have a whole knee replaced, have, like, a metal kneecap.
Or you could just swallow some pride and tap out next time.
Well, that's what I should have done. That's it. So that's the thing with jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is a very, very humbling sport, because, like, I've rarely been tapped out with the guys that we were affiliated with, like, office-wise.
I remember.
But I got tapped out.
A lot of kids tapped me out.
Nobody tapped.
At that Wexford office.
Nobody tapped.
Remember Mo?
Nobody tapped.
I remember Mo tapped you out.
There's no Mo that tapped me out.
Oh, it was Mo that tapped. Yeah, it was Mo. Was that his name?
No.
Yeah. Curly hair, glasses.
No, not
Was
at all.
that Mo?
That was the kid that knocked you out.
Nobody knocked me out.
Yeah, he knocked you out.
I do have a video of you slamming Rob, though.
Yes.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
That was it. But jiu-jitsu's humbling. So, like, office-wise, there's nothing. Like, Simon taps me all the time. He's like a black belt. Other fighter dude. He's in the Bellator. Don't wrestling. Remember when we had that there? So I had recruited though, and I had seen him at a fight down in Pittsburgh.
I
watched it. Because I wasn't old enough, so I was like 18, 19. I'm in insurance. I seen him down there.
Yeah, but we went to that with
and I DM'd him. No, this was.
We went to the little sign.
Yeah, this was one before that. Like I had like watched it on watched the highlight or something. It's like, yeah, it was a decent fight. Do you know anybody that might be interested in like a career opportunity? He was like, I might be interested in doing something on the side. You might fight right now. This was way back in the day. He was like boxing. And ended up checking it out, doing it, and then like fighting really started taking off. And now he's like top ranked Bellator, soon to be UFC. Like, he's a stud.
There's
He looks like a unit.
There's some sort of affiliation with Cody Garbrandt at that Wexford office. Was it Greg?
Yeah. They all box together.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember I was studying the script one day at the Wexford office, and I looked up and there was a guy.
Isn't his nickname No Love?
Yeah, Cody No Love.
Cody No Love.
But I looked up and I was like, I could have sworn that guy was Cody Garbrandt, and it turns out it was his brother. His brother was training.
His brother worked for
Looked exactly like him.
Yes.
It was crazy.
You want to close out with anything? Any funny stories or anything valuable?
I mean, I think self-discipline is the most valuable thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
In regards to funny stories, I'm trying to think of a funny story about the game. It's gonna be as soon as I leave. I'll be like, oh, that one time.
Be like, remember that? It's hilarious.
You would hang outside of the car that I drive.
Oh yeah, hanging out the car windows.
Movies. I feel like I'm gonna die right there.
Hanging out. I learned that young, just getting on top of the cars.
What do you mean you learned that? Somebody taught you that?
Self-taught, kind of. Feel like, yeah, probably self-taught. I got something crazy. So I had my one boy. I hadn't been 17. I'm whipping my mom's Chevy Cruze. She had just recently got it was like 2017. She had just recently got like our first car. It was like a 2013-14 Chevy Cruze, and I'm whipping this like Chevy Cruze, whipping it, and I got like my ghetto ass friend with me. Like if this was a point, actually I might have been 15 because I had like a guy, like I was a bad kid, you know, and I think I was whipping. I was a gangster. I was whipping this car, and I had my ghetto friend in the passenger seat. My other boy, who's actually really like he's a huge social media influencer now. Like Nick, he works with so many celebrities and certain things like that with the social media. So I think I had him with me in like the back seat or at the crib, and then my other boy, I had him in the passenger seat, and he's sitting on the windowsill, and I go to whip this turn, and he flies like he's holding on to the windowsill. Flies all the way out, but like since I was like turning, he hits his head off of my windshield and then flies back around and rolls. Oh, and I was like so close from running him over. You know how messed up I would have been. Probably like accidental manslaughter. I would have got like time or something.
You would think since then that you would learn to drive, but
I can drive. Only wrecked asleep.
How many times?
4 or 5.
Yeah, so that trumps your excuse.
It doesn't trump my excuse. That's a
you fell asleep with a teeth whitener in.
I remember falling asleep with a teeth whitener.
With Alec.
With Alec. Yeah, dude.
Who falls asleep, number one, at the wheel? Who falls asleep at the wheel with a teeth whitener?
I had a teeth whitener.
Like, you had every distraction going.
A brand new car, and I'm just like, you're so tired. You talk about a couple years of, like, minimal sleep. You know what I mean? Like, average 2-3 hours a night. And I'm just... like, anytime I was so scared that I got, like, narcolepsy or something. I have no idea. Whatever it is where you're, like, insomnia. So, like, I was like, dude, I'm just going to keep falling asleep. You know what I mean? I need to go get my blood work done and see if there's something wrong with me. And they're like, yeah, dude, nothing's wrong with you. You know what I mean? So I was like, I literally was just exhausted myself. Even now, I still probably get like 5 on average. I'll get naps. That's Simon put me on that. Like, I'll get like a nap. But it's not very often I can get like a nap in because there's always some fire. Somebody always needs some type of like. The more you move up in leadership, the more responsibility, if you're doing it the right way, that you're going to have. Because getting what you want when it comes to leadership, and this is fire right here, if anybody's listening this far other than your mom maybe, is the more you want in life is really going to directly correspond with the more you help others get what they want, the more you're going to get what you want.
Absolutely.
And I think that was I don't know if it was I don't know who said that, but it's definitely true. Leadership is about serving them. I think of this great book, Lead Like Jesus. Phenomenal book on just like really just serving, loving, and caring about people. Like when you think about somebody you work for, like despite them being crazy, or like if they're really aggressive or anything like that, if you know somebody cares about you, and John Maxwell was able to go to one of his events, and he says, you know, like people don't care what you know until they know how much you care. So when you genuinely know, and that's a big lesson for me, is like learning how to build those relationships and just get better at really genuinely caring, because definitely lost relationships in the business for not being genuine enough. But genuinely caring about people and serving them is really the core of leadership.
I agree.
Core of leadership, dude. I'm excited to go eat. I'm starving. You got anything else in your mind? Anything you want to shout out? Any of your businesses, revenue for live?
Shout out Live Casino if you're in the Greensburg area.
Come spend some money with Billhimer.
Come to the casino and ask for Anthony.
Ask for
Carrion.
Yep. You can only bet 20 grand, so just
It's false.
Just accept that you can only win a couple goldfish. This Goldfish Casino. Check out Anthony Billhimer. We're going to get him back on here. This is really fun. I had a good time.
Yeah, thanks for having me, brother. Hopefully we'll be out here to sell soon.
Yeah. Or wherever you want, since we're virtual.
Yeah.
So hit him up. You know what I mean? Maybe regardless, if you want to check him out. Financial service recommendations for companies if he refers somebody to work with us, or maybe end up working with him. You know what I mean? Maybe his endeavor's taking to building a little virtual branch. So you can hit him up for a job.
We'll see where
get your life insurance license.
See what it takes. I gotta renew that.
Yeah, for sure, gotta renew that. So